everybody. Welcome back to the KGC show. Today, I am joined by a great friend of mine, and he is also one of five. And the reason why I can't say the name of the band is because his name is in the band. But it is an incredibly and kicking rock band that I encourage you guys to go listen to. We're going to catch, we're going to talk to them about where you guys can go catch them live if you're in the area. But most importantly, make sure that you go listen and stream their debut album, and we'll talk about that also. Please give it up from Seth McKay and the Moonshine Rivals. Please give it up for the lead man, our friend and yours, the great Seth McKay. How you doing, Seth?
I'm doing great. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Great to have you back on, buddy.
Oh yeah, I'm excited, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for coming back on. And how have you been since the last time we spoke?
Lord, been busy, very busy, which is a blessing in itself. Just been busy with a lot of these gigs and stuff. We did, however, start slowing down during the holidays. So around Thanksgiving, I kind of slowed things down for us and just kind of took some time to spend with our families and stuff like that. Because that's a big thing for all of us, and we all like to spend the time with our families. So it was good time off, but I'm ready to get back to it next weekend. So
That's right. So, talk to us a little bit about how you got started in music.
so basically, it started from when I was basically a toddler and could first start speaking. Um, I was in the car with my mom one day, and she just happened to realize that the CD she was playing on the radio, that I was actually singing along with it in the back seat, and she said I was on key. That was kind of the first time that she had realized that maybe there was something there, and maybe that was something that I would be doing going forward in my life. I really got my start in church. We did a lot of gospel and stuff like that, and obviously, growing up in the church, you're around that gospel music and things like that. She used to make the joke about how I would walk up and down the aisles between the pews and my diapers, singing with my fake microphone along to the songs that they were singing up in the pulpit. And then eventually, once I got into high school, I actually joined a Southern gospel band with my mother, and we did that for, gosh, probably about 4 or 5 years, maybe. And then gradually, I started to gravitate towards this type of music and start trying it out, and just really falling in love with that type of music and everything. But gospel music still has a very special place in my heart. But that is how I got my start.
Yeah. Do you think getting started working with your mother real close, do you think that brought you guys closer together? And what about music related you got, like brought you guys closer?
Well, I'll be honest. My entire life, me and my mom have been very close, because when I was probably about, I guess, 3 or 4, her and my biological father got a divorce. And so, during those times is when a kid, really doesn't understand. It's hard for him to understand. Um, but the great thing about that was is I never really worried about it too much because my mom was always there. My mom always knew what to do. She's been a very instrumental part of my life, and rightfully so. She's my mother. Gosh, it's just hard to put into words, what my mom does mean to me. Um, but I mean, we've always had a closeness, and then music, because we could do that together. That was just something else that just made it that much more of a bond.
Mm.
Because we've always had that. Sometimes when I'll be walking around here at the house with her, and we'll just start singing something together. And those moments are wonderful moments. But yes, I've always been very close to my mother, and the music just makes it that much more of a bond.
Yeah. How do you think that you growing up in that Southern um, gospel background? How do
Mhm.
you think that has prepared you for what has to come with these with this new group that you're with
Well,
today?
I tell you, it's been quite the journey. So really, like I said, I started out in the Southern Gospel thing. We had opened up for the Kingsmen at one point. I'm not sure if you're familiar with who the Kingsmen are, but that was kind of really the highlight of my Southern Gospel career, and it was um, it was very surreal too because those moments like that opening up for anybody that's on a higher platform than what you are per se is a blessing in of itself. And was able to do that and learning from people along the way, I think is really the biggest key I can say that has helped me to the point that I am today. Um, Learning from my mother. I mean, she taught me a lot of things about singing that I wouldn't probably have found out near as early on my own. Just breathing techniques, things of that nature. I mean, she learned it because she had a vocal injury at one time and she had corns on her vocal cords because she sang when she was sick. So she had to learn a lot of that stuff over time. And then she taught that to me. And I think that's what's helped me a lot along the way.
Yeah.
And so there's, that, and then just different people over time. Some of the other guys in that group were very instrumental in helping me learn different things about singing and, what you can do to help your voice. And then obviously, as I moved into the rock genre, um, you know, dealing with a lot of these different people, opening for some different people, just, I've always said that a big thing about learning more as you go along in your career as a musician, really any profession for that matter, um, is that you watch, learn, and repeat.
Mm.
So whenever you get the opportunity, say you're going out and like when I opened for Quiet Riot, I went and I watched and I learned from them. Um, I when I started getting into the rock stuff, I went on YouTube and watched all my favorite people from that era. Like the John Bon Jovi, Rat, all these different bands. And I looked at them and I said, what do they do that I want to take from them and incorporate in what I do? So it's not just people necessarily that I know, but it's also people that I admire, as a musician, as a fan. And I look at what they do as well and think, well, how can I incorporate that into what I do, but make it different? Because you don't want to be exactly like somebody else. You want to be your own person, but you can incorporate things that you see that you like from somebody else into what you do and make it your
Yeah.
own.
Yeah. Wow. And I bet if anybody listening to this that wants to start something, don't look at, like, from me, like, don't look at my podcast and say you want to start a podcast. Be your own person, because
Exactly.
that's the best person you can be, is just be
Mm-hmm.
yourself. And everything else will uh, unravel for itself. But just be yourself, be genuine, be open hearted, and most of all, just be a good person, because being a good person will get you places like where this young man has gone, like debuting for you guys, the Moonshine Rivals. You guys recorded your first record together, your first album.
Mm-hmm. And
What
so
was that like?
yeah, so we we recorded. So I told you last time it was a little bit of a rough start to getting in the studio with all this and everything because the producer that I had lined up for us had a heart attack. So by the way, he is doing much better now. But we did decide, so we could keep the ball rolling. We did decide to go with a different producer. And what has actually happened is we took it to my friend Steven Schoenecker, who ran live sound for us, but he's also got his own professional recording studio. So we went in, and me and him have been co-producing the record together. So we have recorded, I guess, 6 of the 8 songs. So we got 2 more songs to go, but we're going to go ahead and release some singles here shortly. Uh, we did have one of the band members leave recently, So we just hired a new guitar player, which his name's Seth Ferguson. His name's Seth too, but so I call him Fergie. But um, he's a very good fit. We're excited to have him on board. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take him in and let him re-record some of the guitar, or re-record the guitar tracks, lead guitar tracks on it, and then we're going to go ahead and release this stuff and try to get some of it out there to people, because I know I've been saying for what seems like forever now that we're going to get this album out. We're going to get this album out, and something always comes and kind of gets it to where I'm like, okay, well, I got to do this now before I can release it. But I tell you what, as far as the experience, it's been wonderful. Uh, Anytime you get to go in a studio and create, that's one of my favorite parts about really being a songwriter, being a musician. Um, is just the opportunity to go in and record stuff that you have created yourself, whether it's sitting in your bedroom, whether it's getting together with one of your other bandmates and crafting a song together. Anytime you can craft a song and then go record it and bring that idea to life is absolutely amazing. Because it's one thing to go out and do a cover of George Strait or, whoever it may be, uh, you know, and obviously that's fun when a crowd enjoys it and they give you those claps and the screams and yeah, that was great. But there is something so much more satisfying to me about creating something and getting to record it or play it out live. Because when you do that, and people, especially when people enjoy it, and you can tell they enjoy it, and they give you the seal of approval with the hand claps and the screams, and you're like, man, there's nothing better than that, man. But definitely the whole creative process is just absolutely fun. We have fun with it. Um, Me and Steven work well together, producing, and he does all the engineering, and man, he is so good at what he does. And the good part about it is even though we weren't able to get Mikey to produce the album, we did have him agree to come on and do the final mix. So basically, what he's going to do is get it ready to put out on streaming platforms. And so he comes through at the final part of it, just make sure everything sounds good, and then we can release it. So he has been very instrumental for me too, because he's such a good guy, and he is so good at what he does too. I mean, he's been Grammy nominated, and you know, I'm just glad to have him still a part of the fold, even though he wasn't able to do the producing this time. So.
Yeah. You know, you talked about how you got to produce this new record. What
Yeah.
was that learning experience like for you as an artist?
Uh, very beneficial, because what a lot of artists don't understand, because they don't ever really deal with that side of it, is, and it's a lot more different now because there's a lot of bands that do, because they do their own recordings at home. So there are a lot more people out there that are aware of what that is now. But a lot of times they don't have guidance from somebody that's been doing it for years. They're just doing it from their home and they kind of figure it out. And, sometimes even though the songs may be good, the recording of it doesn't translate over quite as well as it could, if that makes sense. And so it's been very beneficial for me to have Steven right there with me, because he is so good at what he does. And, him and Mikey both, and both of them working on this record with me, it's wonderful because I know I'm in good hands with these two guys.
Hmm.
And Steven is just as good as Mikey, even though he may not have the Grammy nomination that Mikey does. And Steven does such a good job. And me and him work so well together, because I can look at him and say, hey, something's not sounding right here. Let's do this. Or he can, look at me and say, Seth, what do you think about this? What if we did it this way? And us coming together doing those things is what's making this record even better because, I'm not afraid to tell him what I think. He's not afraid to tell me what he thinks. And then we can come up with an amalgamation of things that make it better.
Yeah.
And so, but for me personally, that has helped me as a producer because I'm learning from somebody who's been doing the recording engineering and things for years and years and years. And he has so much experience with different bands, everything. And it's been something that I've really fell in love with doing. Um, and it's been a joy working with him on this record.
I'm excited to know about what your upcoming plans are for 2026. As are you doing more touring?
So basically, right now, I've got a little over of a little over the quarter of the way booked through the year. And so, we've got some arenas booked for the summer. We're working on some theaters. So we are branching out into the theaters a little bit more, at least attempting to. Um, and I'm trying to been talking to a few different people about like booking agents about possibly branching us out a little bit more and getting us out of our area some more than we already are getting. Because I do all of our booking currently, so I'm able to get some things out of the area, but some things, as you know, they want more of a different representation than just yourself.
Hmm.
Um, so it's kind of hard for me to email somebody and them take me seriously, when it's just me. So we are looking to add a booking agent into the mix potentially and get the ball rolling a little bit more outside of this area.
That's great. So, for people that have questions about how they can come help and be a part of what you're wanting to do and achieve your amazing career, which you're doing great at, by the way, I
Thank
got
you.
I'm going to tell you something here in a minute, but I want you to answer this. Where can people go so they can contact you so for this?
So you can go to our Facebook page, Seth McKay and the Moonshine Rivals. We got an Instagram page as well under the same name. Um, and honestly, I'll just go ahead and throw out my email on here too. It is Seth Cunningham 61 at gmail.com. If you are interested in having us play at your theater, your festival, or your venue, just venue of any kind, just give me a shout at that email. It is Seth Cunningham 61 at gmail.com.
And it will also be linked. Well, actually, I don't know. But if you go to the Facebook page, it will be linked there. I was going to say link it to the bottom in
Yeah,
the.
and you can also message the Facebook page or the Instagram page, and I'll answer from there too. I handle all of our social media and all that stuff as well. So you'll be getting direct contact with me if you send it there as well.
See, so even though he has five other guys that help him not musically, he needs somebody like me to help him social media wise. He can't do it all. But how do you balance it all?
I tell you what, it's difficult. It's one of those things where I try to balance out because right now as a smaller band, we're I try to take care of all the business side of everything. I try to not let the guys have to worry about that. I would rather myself worry about that than the other guys. I want the other guys to have fun. And don't get me wrong, I have fun too. But I kind of enjoy taking care of the business side of things too. I've always looked at it as, nobody's going to work harder than you at your dreams. So, um, I've always looked at it as, I'll take care of all that stuff until I can, eventually, hopefully get big enough to where I can kind of farm that out to other people and things and not have to worry about it quite as much. But right now, that's kind of where we sit. I'm kind of taking care of all that stuff, the booking, just the, business side of things.
Hmm.
But I enjoy it. I don't dislike it. It doesn't take away from the fun of it. Maybe every so often, it's like, It's like, dang, I wish I didn't have to worry about this, so I could just enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, I don't mind taking care of it. My stepdad also helps me, with certain stuff sometimes. If I need his help, he'll give me advice on things because he's about to finish up his doctorate in business, so he knows a lot about business.
Yeah.
So I definitely run things by him quite a bit. But as of right now, I'm kind of taking care of all the business aspects of the band as well as being the band leader.
Yeah. And there's a very good reason you are a leader, sir,
Yeah.
because the music that you guys make, and I'm not just saying it as a friend and as a podcast host, but I sincerely love all of the stuff that you put out on social media. I follow closely on what you guys do because I remember first starting out, and you said it was getting off to a rocky start. And I remember what it meant to you to at least say that we're going in to start recording. And now that you have all these tracks done and are getting ready to mix and master them, buddy, I am so deeply proud of what you've created. And you call yourself a small band. 2,000 followers on Facebook isn't that small, buddy.
Well, I appreciate that. We had a good year this past year. I mean, we did a lot of cool stuff. We actually got to headline our first small festival over in Lebanon, Virginia, which is like another home for me because my stepfather, really, I mean, I call him my stepfather, but he really is my dad. He's been there since I've been four and a half, and he basically does a lot of the stuff to help this band out. He pulls the trailer. He runs our lights. He helps me when I have questions about business or questions about anything. Him and my mom are always there. So I am very thankful for them, and mom could not have picked a better person to come into our lives. So I guess that's a little bit of a shout out for him there. But he, we're definitely, we definitely had a really good year. But as far as like I kind of got off a little bit of track. Um, but in Lebanon, we had the opportunity to headline that small festival this year. That was a lot of fun. It was their first year doing it.
Yeah.
And then also we did Cedar Fest again this year, which is another Lebanon festival that they had. That's the big one. That's the one that gets over, gosh, I think there was like probably close to 4,000 people, something like that there this year. And we got I don't know if you know do you know who Emily Ann Roberts is?
Yes.
Yes, we had the opportunity to open for her, and we opened for Daly and Vincent, who is now a member of the Grand Ole Opry. So we were pretty excited about that this year.
Wait, wait,
We
wait,
actually,
wait, wait. You mean
Daly and Vincent.
you played a show with Daly and Vincent?
Yeah,
Like the group that Ben James, the now tenor of singer of the Oak Ridge Boys, sang with before he joined the Oaks?
yeah.
Ah, man, there's a reason I love you. Continue. I
Yeah.
I love I have a mad respect for those guys, Daly and Vincent, and even Emily Ann Roberts too,
Hmm.
because of the sound that they bring. It's not
Hmm.
Emily Ann, she's that traditional country. I love Emily Ann,
Hmm.
but I also love Daly and Vincent for their bluegrass gospel roots.
Yes, they kind of mix all of it together and bring something very different to the table. They're very talented guys, super nice too. I mean, I got the chance to talk to them a little bit. We didn't talk a whole lot, but we talked a little bit, and they were super nice. Got to talk to Emily Ann. Oh my gosh, she was a sweetheart of a girl.
Man, if that's one new that if that's a podcast guest I want for 2026, may that be known. Emily Ann Roberts. Come on. I got Seth. What more do I need? But Seth, now that you've been in music for a long time now, what does music mean to you?
uh, I tell you, it means a whole lot to me. Music has got me through so much. And I think it's the same for a lot of people in this world. Um, they, there's a reason that they started the whole music therapy thing. I truly believe that. And it's because music actually is therapeutic for a lot of people. And it, especially as a creator of music, you find that writing a song during a time of whether it's happiness, sorrow, um, just being down in the dumps, whatever the case may be, you can sit down and write a song, and all your emotions come through your arm, your hand, into that pen or pencil, into that piece of paper, and it's just like you write it out of yourself, and then all of a sudden, it's like you feel better. And that is such a magic thing about music, is that you can do that as a writer. And then on top of that, when you put out the music or you go play music live that you have written, it might hit another person in a certain way, shape, or form, where it helps them. And I think that's the one of the biggest things I love about music. The two biggest things for me are is getting to go out and perform for people and make people smile. Because I don't care who you are, what kind of music you play. When you can get up there and play music and you see people out in the crowd smiling, singing along if it's a song they know, or just sitting there smiling, and you can take time to draw them in enough to where they forget about the real world for a little bit. To me, that is an amazing feat, because as we know, the way some things are going right now, it's very the world can be a scary place sometimes, and to know that you as a musician have the opportunity to get up there and make people forget about the real world and real life for a little while, that's a wonderful thing, because everybody needs to just take a break and let their hair down, so to speak, sometimes, and forget about things in their normal everyday lives. Some people are stressed about money, which right now is a big deal. Um, some people are stressed about things that are going on personally in their life. Somebody might be going through a divorce. Somebody might be having problems. Somebody might have just lost a family member. But if you can be that person that makes them smile and forget about life for a little while, that is such a blessing.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's hard to find a question that comes next to that because it's so true. And also another thing is put your faith. We talk. I know
Exactly.
that growing up in church for both of us, faith is still a big part of both of what we do. Even though he sings rock music, I have to give him this. If you guys follow him on his personal Facebook page, which I'm so honored to do, he yesterday posted or I think it was yesterday, a couple days ago, he posted a video of him singing in a cappella gospel song in the car. And man, I have not been to church like that since I don't know, but it was
Thank you very
so
much.
full, and it's what we needed to hear. What does gospel mean to you now, even though you still do rock and roll?
Well, I tell you, I I've never claimed to be a perfect person or the perfect Christian. I make mistakes every single day, and nobody's perfect. But I can tell you one thing, um, and you were talking about, it's been a while since you had been to church like that. I'll um, I do go to church with my girlfriend. Family goes to a church, and I attend with them sometimes, and we all go to church and stuff, but um, I haven't been involved in church like I used to be growing up, and a lot of the thing is just because some people, it's sad, but some people can be cruel, And I understand why some people feel like that maybe they're not, uh, that they shouldn't serve him or things like that because of how some people come across that are within the church at times. But one thing I can tell you is this, is that, yes, I play rock music, like you said, but the gospel is something that is very near and dear to my heart. And it's something that's always been there, even when I haven't been the best child of God at times. He's always there, whether you realize that or not. And I really try to be a good example, because I feel like that's a good thing to do. And um, man, we just got off on a tangent, didn't we? uh,
No, man.
so
It's
but I guess what I'm trying to say is this: we all go through hardships. We all have times where we have doubt, whether it's sometimes we think, "Why me, Lord?" Uh, Sometimes we wonder what exactly is um, wrong with me. Why are all these things happening to me? Um, when we go through bad times, and uh, the thing is whether you realize it or not, he is always there. He's always watching over us, and I can attest to that because I have been blessed tremendously in this life. Even though I've had moments where I wonder, well, is anything really going to happen for me? Am I really going to do anything worthwhile in this world? Um, the one the one thing is that I'm as long as I continue to do my best and try to serve him at my best, even though um, I'm not perfect and I make mistakes every day. I feel like as long as I try to do my best and serve him to the best of my ability, that good things are going to come about at some point, whether or not everybody has hardships. And so I look at it as, and I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at is my faith, and the gospel means everything to me.
right. I would not have a podcast if it was not for God, and you would not have a music career if it wasn't for God. So always remember, worshiping is in different all styles of music. It doesn't have to be strictly gospel music. And I know people are going to come after me for saying it, but I heard Brandon Lake say it. So if you have a problem with that, take it up with Brandon Lake. Anyway, sorry, Brandon. Love you, buddy. Uh, but I do want to say, Seth, thank you so much for saying that because it wasn't a tangent. It's what needed to be said. So many times people look at religion and faith and Christianity as a one day a subject, one day a week type of a subject. They kind of shelter it to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
But what this podcast and what this is all about is making sure that he is relevant because like what you said, we don't have nothing if it's not for him, you know. And so I thank you for doing the blessing that God called you to do with playing music because it's healing. You need it. We all need it. And I can't wait for you to get out there for people to hear you, download you, and so they can become a bigger fan of you than I already am. And that's not possible, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate you, my friend.
Well, Seth, I don't want to keep you any longer than you've already been here. So thank you so much, sir, for coming on and chatting with us today.
Not a
And
problem, man. Thank you for having me.
when you get that album done, you want to come back and share with us again?
Absolutely.
Well, come on. And maybe we can get the whole band on next time.
Yeah, we need to try to get that. We need to try to let that happen sometime here soon. It's just hard to get everybody together on days when we don't have gigs or when we're not practicing. because everybody's got separate lives and everything. But um, we're having a lot of fun, and we're hoping to have a great 2026.
As you will. May the Lord be with all of you guys. Safe travels up and down the roads as you guys go. May God's blessing be upon you boys. And also this. Try and book a show somewhere far out as west of Spokane. That's all I gotta say.
All right. Well, you help me out there. You find some places that I could possibly play, and let me know.
Stick around after the show. I'll be with you in a second.
All right.
I'll tell you. But thank you guys so much for all the support that you've guys shown. Please, guys, don't forget to go follow Seth McKay on Facebook, in the Moonshine Rivals on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure that you guys are. Do you guys have a YouTube channel yet?
We actually do have a YouTube channel, and it's under Seth McKay and the Moonshine Rivals. You can find some videos on there. I'll be honest with you, I haven't kept up with it quite as well as I should have, but I'm going to start working on doing better with that here soon. So we're going to have more content coming up on there very soon.
There you go. And also, I'm I'm sure that if you guys do go follow Seth on Facebook, I'm pretty sure if you add him on a personal page, he'll add you back. Just tell him KGC sent you, and he may or may not add you. But ladies and gentlemen, you guys were gifted with a honest artist in the making. And honestly, if people were to say, who have been some of your top five favorite podcasts? I always put Seth in the top three because it's more than a conversation. It's a friendship and it's genuine music. So, Seth, I wish you the best in 2026, sir, and congratulations on everything. Anytime you need any type of media, no matter how cheap it is, you can always come back here and talk to me, and I'll be honored to chat every time. Thank you so much for your friendship, and good luck to you.
Hey, thank you so much for your friendship too. And hey, congratulations on the award you received for the show. Proud of you, man.
Thank you, sir. It's because of great guests like you, I win awards like that. So you're
It's also because of how well you do and how hard you work at your podcast, man. Everybody knows how hard you work at this, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you. And thank you to all of you again. It's still, I'm deeply touched, and it doesn't matter how long it sits with me, man. It's still an honor every day I wake up to see it. And what's an honor is to still be invited back into people's homes in the living room while they gather around and watch the show, man. That's the biggest honor anybody could tell me that they do. So I hope that I bring somewhat of an enjoyment to you. But we enjoyed having the great Seth McKay on today, and we will continue to support him and look out for him everywhere. You guys do the same, and he will be back here, well, maybe less than a year. We
All
love you
right, sounds
guys.
good.
We love you guys. Love one another. And also at the end of the day, keep doing what you love to do and follow it 100 times more. Believe in it, because if you believe in it, it's not work. You get to go do your passion. Remember that. You're the the thing that you call work is not work unless you make it work. But if you think about it as I get to go serve my purpose and my passion, you'll have the most fun doing it. We love you guys, love one another, and we'll see you soon. Seth McKay, everybody.